Alright guys, welcome back to the channel as I walk you through the Blues Brothers movie from 1980. First up at the state penitentiary, as we see one of the Blues Brothers walking out with the corrections officers. Walking outside and into the next building, and the Blues Brother here has been released on parole for good behavior. And you can tell by his fingers his name is Jake, and now gets his clothes back. As his corrections officer hands him back, played by Frank Oz, known for Sesame Street and the Muppets shows, if you've seen any of them. Even this used condom.
One unused prophylactic, one soiled.
Here comes the next Blues Brother, stopping as you see his name too, Elwood, on his fingers. Gets now Jake here his entire Blues Brothers outfit, and now signs the release forms, and the Blues Brothers finally meet up. So Elwood Blues, played by Dan Aykroyd, and Jake Blues, played by John Belushi, or Joliet Jake, brother of actor Jim Belushi. He died pretty early in his 30s in the 1980s. 2 years after this movie, John Belushi died. And directed by John Landis, who's also directed National Lampoon's Animal House. There are way too many National Lampoon movies, by the way. So Jake questions what happened to the Bluesmobile, the Cadillac, where the two once used to roll up, and as Elwood traded it in, the Cadillac, for a microphone, and got the beat up cop car without the siren on the roof from an auction. And these guys are actually brothers. Their real last name is Blues, by the way. And yes, they are in Chicago, Illinois, stopping at this train crossing, and you know what happens next. So it's safe to say that this crappy cop car is a new Bluesmobile, and the two have made it to his orphanage.
We gotta go in and visit the penguin. No.
The fat penguin. Okay. So they're actually here to see the head nun of this orphanage and go inside to see her, Mother Mary here, played by Kathleen Freeman, and ask the two to come sit down in front of her. Now she tells them the county took a tax assessment of the orphanage and she needs $5,000 to pay it off. And Mother Mary doesn't want the Blues Brothers stolen money, if they have stolen money, or else the orphanage is torn down without that $5,000 payment.
Creep. Ow!
Christ, Jake, take it easy, man.
Elwood. Ow! Shit. Fuck this noise, man. Get out!
So she's been watching too much Star Wars. Oh, you fat penguin. So now the two meet up with Curtis here, played by jazz musician of the 40s, Cab Calloway. Either Curtis is still an orphan here, or he just works here, but he knows the place is going to be sold out soon unless $5,000 shows up on time. And these two were once orphans at this very orphanage, the Blues Brothers. So bringing back memories with Curtis and the fat penguin, Mother Mary. And Curtis recommends the two to go to a local church to see Reverend Cleophas for some church behavior, but Jake doesn't want to. And so they do at the Triple Rock Church, as the churchgoer introduces Reverend Cleophas James, played by the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. And now it gives a sermon on what he heard as Jake wants to leave, and now it's time for him to sing, since he's James Brown. And the Blues Brothers are not liking this, as Jake's face is shaking weirdly, and now the singing stops with the spotlight on Jake and Cleophas that he's seen the light for him to dance. And Jake yelling about the band coming back earlier also made Elwood notice that they should bring their band back together from the past. A lot of jumping in the air and dancing, and that's it for that song, as the two are back on the Chicago freeway, as Jake suggests to bring their band back together and have a few shows and gain $5,000 for the orphanage to pay off that tax assessment. And Elwood says he has a few leads where the other band members may be, but none of them ever wrote or came to see Jake in prison, since they all work real jobs now. And have run past a red light, as the cops are now behind them and have now stopped at the Chicago neighborhood. And he has been pulled over in 6 months and mentions SC mods or SCMods.
State County Municipal Offender Data System.
So keep in mind, Jake is on parole, and Elwood is beyond cooked. I always thought they were called the Blues Brothers because of the kind of music they sing to. It turns out it's the real last name of the movie. And this is where the never-ending chase starts towards the Blues Brothers.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint. They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
This line will be said repeatedly. I'll play. So one of the officers here, played by Stephen Williams, is also here. You know, popular. He's popular from a show called 21 Jump Street from the 1980s, 1990s, as he pages in for backup. And now in this mall parking lot, as the two cop cars are now on the run on the Blues Brothers, and have no other choice but to do this. And this part of the movie is very fun to enjoy, very fun to watch.
Anything else?
Yes, do you have a Miss Piggy?
I'm gonna catch that sucker. It's the last thing I ever.
I hope you enjoyed some of that footage of the mall being destroyed, especially feeling bad for the Toys R Us store. So they make their way out of JCPenney, and this cop will hunt the Blues Brothers down. And the two have made it here now with the Peter Gunn theme playing, a popular detective crime show from the 60s. If you've seen Peter Gunn, you know, Craig Stevens, I think is his name. As we are in downtown Chicago, we see this mystery woman here, smoking, played by Carrie Fisher, watching the Blues Brothers walking in here, and she's ready to kill the two outside Elwood's place, but aims it at Jake especially.
Nice place, huh?
So that's literal terrorism right there. What's wrong with her? So she drives off and goes inside here, now acting like the cement bricks didn't hurt them, with the Peter Gunn theme playing again, and says hi to Lloyd here, and tells him that the cops are here to see Elwood, and give him the cop's card, maybe about the suspended license, that Jake will be staying over here, and hands him the old-timer here, his Cheese Whiz. And his room is right next to the train track, and the two relax as Elwood even falsified his address on his license to avoid the cops, since his license has been suspended. I don't know how the cops located him here, but you know, cops have all the computer technology to locate anyone, doesn't matter what decade. Okay, and now just peace and quiet except for the train. So it's the next day now, as the two are still asleep, and the same two cops are back, and even the mystery woman who launched those mini missiles at the Blues brothers. But she drives off scared after seeing the cops, and we meet Detective Burton Mercer here, played by John Candy, who knows Elwood Blues very well. He helped these cops locate Elwood's place. Cool. And the mystery woman blows the place up, leaving only Elwood's room remaining the same, barging in Burton Mercer and the cops. Seriously, who is she? And the two have to go back to work. Okay, and going to work means locating the band members. So now for the first band member, as this Mrs. Tarantino opens the door as the two look for Thomas Malone and Louis Marini, as the two moved out a long time ago.
This is Toronto?
Tarantino. Are you the police?
No, ma'am. We're musicians.
Now go in and ask how the two lived here, and now about to leave, and Mrs. Tarantino runs after the two and gives them this card Marini and Malone can be at, where they can be located at. And I've made it to this Holiday Inn hotel where both of them can be found since the concert's happening here. That's all for Murph and the Magic Tones, leaving the band logging off with their name, one of them being Thomas Malone, played by Tom Malone. And now the Murph and the Magic Tones band sits down with the Blues Brothers, since this guy is still pissed off at Jake for not getting the money from the past. And Elwood tells him Jake was sent to prison for a gas station stick-up to cover these guys to pay the hotel tab. And want the band back together, as Jake makes fun of his new band and their costumes. And the band will be better off if they get back Mr. Fabulous, who can be found at the Chez Paul restaurant. And the two other guys, Mad Guitar Murphy and Blue Lou, who can be tracked down at the soul food restaurant. So yeah, there are more members than you think. And again with this line.
We got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
So the Blues Brothers have made it to Chez Paul restaurant and are now talking to the manager here, or the maitre d', who is Mr. Fabulous himself, played by Alan Rubin. And the Blues Brothers welcome themselves into the restaurant, and no one is taking their order, and whistles in as the waiter, who looks like Pee Wee Herman, who is really Pee Wee Herman, played by Paul Rubens, tells him that champagne here costs $120. The Blues Brothers have no money.
Putting the band back together.
Forget it. No way.
We're on a mission from God.
And Mr. Fabulous is back to tell them that they can't afford the food here, as Jake tells them that the band is being put back together, and Mr. Fabulous doesn't want the band back together, since, he likes being the head waiter or the manager of the Chez Paul restaurant. Now this man here asks Mr. Fabulous that him and his family would like to move tables since the Blues Brothers smell bad, smell like shit. And Jake, annoying the family and even insulting the husband, don't do this in real life. This is just a movie, okay? And threatens Mr. Fabulous. The Blues Brothers will come back here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day until he doesn't come back to the band. And so he agrees.
Sir! Sir! Sir!
And that was a Nazi protest with these Germans in the army uniforms wanting to have their own political party, as these citizens are against it. And the guy with the megaphone is the leader of all this protest, played by Henry Gibson. Again, if you've seen Big Stand from 2007, you'll recognize him here, or recognize him there. He was a lot younger in this movie. So they are blocking the traffic on the bridge, and the Blues Brothers want to cross that bridge, and what does Elwood do?
We're gonna kill that son of a bitch.
Just like the cops, they will join them in chasing down the Blues Brothers much later on in the movie, okay? They have now made it to the south part of Chicago, I think. And we see a blues singer once again. I honestly don't know his name. He'll show up in the credits for sure. So just a bunch of people walking around, and we have made it to this soul food restaurant where Mad Guitar Murphy can be found, including Lou Marini. And we also hear some singing, and now go in to order some white bread, 4 whole fried chickens, and a Coke. As Mrs. Murphy here, played by the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin here, takes their orders.
4 fried chickens and a Coke.
And some dry white toast, please.
And as the wife of Mad Guitar Murphy, who is cooking the food, and even Lou Marini is there too, washing dishes. So after hearing the order, he knows it's the Blues Brothers, Mad Guitar Murphy, played by Matt Murphy, and Blue Lou Marini, played by Lou Marini. After hearing wanting the band back together, Matt's wife is not happy about it, and tells the Blues Brothers that they still owe him money from the past. And tells the Blues Brothers to get out and leave Mad Guitar Murphy here, and now for another song and dance number.
A Blues Brothers?
Oh, shut up, woman.
You better sing about.
So after that song, Mad Guitar Murphy quits the soul food restaurant and joins the Blues Brothers, and lets Blue Lou Marini go and run off too, and there goes their entire staff. So now at the beauty salon, as we see Carrie Fisher again planning her next terror attack on this stormy day. And now the band is back together to shop for new instruments at Ray's Music Exchange, and going to meet Ray himself, the owner, played by Ray Charles, who's a blind singer if you didn't know. And Jake and Matt Murphy have bought instruments here from the past, and this kid is about to steal a guitar.
Now go on, get.
And sells the guys a piano for $2,000, and now for another song performed by Ray Charles. It's looking a bit like West Side Story with the dancing, and they'll pay the $2,000 for the piano, and have now made it at this Howard Johnson's restaurant, like the hotel. As Jake needs to make a call, it comes along Elwood since he's paying for the phone call. And Elwood mentions someone from the past named Maury Sline, a booking agent of their past gigs, and Maury owes Jake from the past. And guess who's back? How does she know where the Blues Brothers are at all the time? Now we see the head protester again painting, and half the movie's already over. And this guy comes in telling him, after looking at Elwood's license plate, that they found out Elwood's name and his fake address, which is 1060 West Addison, as mentioned before, which is Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. So it's a stadium. And the head protester knows they've been fooled and asks all his guys to keep a sharp eye on Elwood Blues' whereabouts. So back on the road, Blues Brothers and the band are on their way to their first gig at Bob's Country Bunker, and Mr. Fabulous notices a sign for another band. So Jake lies is meant for the Blues Brothers band. Great. The two walk in pretending to be the real band that is supposed to perform tonight, and we even meet Bob, the owner, played by Jeff Morris. So they don't take kindly to non-country, non-western music, and comes in the band ready to set up. And the parking has been packed with customers to watch the good old boys perform. And the Blues Brothers don't know any of the songs that's on the list, so they have So the crowd doesn't like the music they're performing since the songs that was supposed to be performed by the good old boys were by Hank Williams, I think he's a real singer. So out of desperation, they perform a theme song of the Western TV show Rawhide from the 1960s. I've never seen it. Now these country guys are loving it, and there's a whip. So now it's time for another country song, singing Stand By Your Man, and the beer bottle throwing is not ending. Now it's closing time at Bob's Country Bunker as Bob offers him $200 plus asking for $300 for the beers they drank, thinking was on the house. Since some of these guys are already giving up on the Blues Brothers, but give them one more chance and they leave since the beer fee needs to be paid. And now this.
And you boys drank $300 worth of beer.
I've been sent here to see if you gentlemen are carrying your permits.
So Tucker McElroy, played by Charles Napier, looks super pissed off. And now it's time to run away and now meet the real good old boys band. And here comes Bob and Tucker chasing the Blues Brothers as the same cops are back too on the night watch. And see what happens when you run after the same thing.
We're the good old boys. You're the good old boys. Boys, you're in big trouble.
Now inside the steam room as the Blues Brothers finally meet up with Maury Sline, played by Steve Lawrence, to get another gig for them since they're desperate for $5,000. But Maury gives the two a location, the Palace Hotel Ballroom, for their next gig to fill up 5,000 seats. They'll get $5,000 and want that gig right away. Now Jake blackmails Maury, and again with this line.
Maury, we need this gig.
We're on a mission from God.
Thanks, Maury. Let's go, boys.
Now the gig is set and back at the orphanage as Curtis sees the orphans packing up their stuff to move out, and Curtis mentions the Blues Brothers are going to save these kids their orphanage. So the Blues Brothers and Curtis and the kids are promoting this concert everywhere in Chicago, and the ticket price is $2. And everyone sees this, including all the people they've met and even the people they pissed off. And now they're out of gas and have made it to Tiny's gas station. Meanwhile at the Palace Hotel, excited to perform, the band members are already there.
We're out of gas.
I said we're out of gas.
So no gas at the gas station. Now this woman is asking for a gas refill as Curtis is wondering where the Blues Brothers and Elwood, where the Blues Brothers are, and Elwood wanting the girl to come over to the motel near the Palace Hotel. And here comes a truck full of gas, including Detective Burton Mercer, locating the Blues Brothers at the Palace Hotel. And now the girl pays Elwood for the gas and tells her to come by the motel at midnight if she has time. And the two are late for the gig, and everyone is angry as the Blues Brothers have made it under here.
Son of a bitch! Come on!
So it looks like a sewer the Blues Brothers are walking into since they know the police, the Nazi protesters, Bob's Country Bunker, the good old boys, and Carrie Fisher are all after them. And the citizens of Chicago are hungry for the Blues Brothers performance. And some of the band members are ready to leave as the Blues Brothers are not here yet. And Curtis thinks of something at the last minute. You know, Cab Calloway reliving his old self from the 1940s. So as Curtis sings, the Blues Brothers just sneak past the cops trying to get in the Palace Hotel ballroom. As Elwood sprays his industrial glue onto the accelerator of the good old boys van. That will come in handy. And that's the end of Curtis's performance. And And Burt and Mercer and the same two cops are here, and before arresting the Blues Brothers, Burt and Mercer wants to hear them sing. Understandable.
Orange whip. Orange whip. 3 orange whips.
So the cops are storming in now, and the band plays another song until the Blues Brothers show up, and now they're here, and the audience isn't impressed. Well, maybe because they haven't performed yet, and now it's time for their performance. And now for the next song. As the two now head back of the curtains, and now this record producer stops the two and offers them a record deal, and even a $10,000 advance. But the two have to run off, and the record producer tells them that there's a tunnel they can sneak out from, since the record producer used to be a bouncer at this hotel in the 70s, and Jake gives him the $1,400 to the record producer to pay back Ray Charles for the piano, since he already paid the $600 somewhere. And they make their escape as the cops and the good old boys are confused now, and look who's back. And she's been after Jake this entire time and continues to shoot, and Burt and Mercer hears gunshots. And she is Jake's supposed to be wife. And now for the truth.
Waiting in celibacy for you, with 300 friends and relatives in attendance.
Well, now you know everything about her and why she's been doing this. And Jake makes excuses to prevent dying and fools her real good.
Please don't kill us. You know I love you, baby. I wouldn't leave you. Where to go?
Let's go.
And take a look at all those cop cars you see Bob and the good old boys about to drive off too. And the Blues Brothers drive off back to Chicago with the cops shooting and not noticing a woman with a bigger gun than theirs. Funny. As the cops chase the Blues Brothers, Tucker McElroy notices his foot is stuck to the accelerator and even overpasses the Blues Brothers and end up in the river through this wooden shed. And even the girl from the gas station showed up waiting for Elwood at the motel like he said she could. Like he said she could, yeah. So it's morning now as the Blues Brothers are still on the run, and now the cops have blocked the entrance to Chicago. Meanwhile, at the police station, we see the same movie gangster from Home Alone 1 and 2, played by Ralph Foodie, as a police dispatcher announcing the description of Elwood's car, including the head Nazi protester paying attention and runs off. So Elwood needs to pull over since looks like the car is running out of gas again. And the cops are doing exactly what Elwood is doing, driving on the highway hills, copying him. Great.
Car 55. We're in a truck.
So the police dispatcher calls in again and that the Blues Brothers are almost in Chicago and to look out when they arrive. And wow, what a turn. So they're almost at the place where they have to pay the $5,000 in taxes to save the orphanage, and the movie's almost done. And that is so cool. So just some more footage of the cops chasing down the Blues Brothers and Elwood's fantastic driving skills as the cops goof up by crashing into each other, including the head Nazi protester already waiting in the alleyway, and now drive onto this unfinished highway and stop right at the edge and reverse back and jump past the Nazi cars. And what the hell, is that even possible?
I've always loved you.
And they're here at the, I guess, an IRS office building to pay the $5,000. Now block the entrance and asks the security guard here for directions to the office of the assessor of Cook County, and run off as cops and firefighters have surrounded the building, and the military have also arrived meanwhile. So more and more law enforcement invading the building and ask the security guards where the Blues Brothers are, and all these guys just to catch two brothers. Damn. So they have made it to the floor. They have they have to be on in Elwood, turning off the elevator and blocking more exits. And the sign says be back in 5 minutes. And I've caught one of the guys working there and hand him the $5,000 as the invasion continues.
Can I help you? That's what I paid. And here is your receipt.
So the cops, the firefighters, and the military have caught the Blues Brothers just before they get the receipt for the tax payment, with Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock playing, performed by the Blues Brothers this time, as they're now in prison, and their band members are already there too. It looks like they got arrested at the Palace Ballroom at the Palace Hotel, and they're loving it. And that's it, the Blues Brothers from 1980, finishing us off with the credits of the cast singing to Jailhouse Rock. And the rest of the cast whose names I have forgot to mention. And now for the actual credits for the next 5 minutes. Fantastic movie, check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time in John Wick 3 Parabellum from 2019. There is a sequel to The Blues Brothers, which came out in 1998. John Belushi couldn't make it because he died 2 years after this movie. You know, he died in prison. But like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Take care. See you soon. Watch away. Check out The Blues Brothers and check out the sequel if you want to. Take care.
Everybody.